getting ready to get into a hot seat in the hard point. Brought to you exclusively by the COD Rec League. We got both teams making their way to the point. Looks like Sin City Slayers may touch the point first, and that is correct. Now we got New York Lightning taking the outside routes, trying to get to the point, but three of the New York Lightning go down. Gothard there to save the day. He pings two, but Ferry trades him out quickly. Sin City Slayers back on the time. New York Lightning trying to fight to get on this hardpoint time, but it looks like the dude got to control the spawn.
Yeah, I mean, a little bit too early to draw any major conclusions about how this map is going to go, but Sin City has a great start, 16 points on the board, and kind of contesting with New York in the slaying department as well. New York will retake that P1, but you see Sin City kind of setting up for that P2 spawn area. You see them scouting out the New York members trying to reclaim spawns, able to do so, but they're going to have to look out for Gother coming out from their right side here. Gother manages to just get behind him, but Outages puts into work straight up, and New York Lightning has just retaken the spawns. They have a foot on the P2, and now it's all Sin City. You see number 3 in air, who maybe has reclaimed those spawns. You do see New York spawning a little bit out, but kind of still close to the point. But, I mean, really good work for both teams. You see them playing strategically, and right now it's just a little bit back and forth in the scoreline.
Yeah, you caught it perfectly, man. Player 3 air, man, did his job. Get back there, snuck behind enemy lines, spawned out the New York Lightnings. Make sure his team got control of the spawns. They pushed in from the front, and now you got New York Lightning trying to push in from this little small door. All 3 of them, but Jeff has his gun just ironed up, waiting for them to pull through. The last of that scrap time should go in the favor of the City Slayers as we see the rotation for New York Lightning trying to get to next player 1. He's going to try to rush his way over there to try to get the spawn for his team, but he's going to be by himself for the time being as 2 New York Lightnings are close to this hill. Hill jumps off. New York Lightning would jump off, but player 1 trying to get control of his spots, so they quickly fight him.
Yeah, Sin City doing well so far. You wouldn't guess maybe that they're the underdogs coming into this match from how they've been performing so far. New York, as I say that though, has a solid hold onto the point, but Outages goes down, Morph goes down, and Sin City, they're just running to the point. New York has, I would say, the preferred spawn, but they're gonna struggle to get a little bit of a handle here, and Sin City is all over it. You see New York kind of trying to go through this top plat area, just trying to pick off Sin City members that are just holding the point down, but so far Sin City has held pretty strong. New York is circling them. 19 seconds left on the clock. You're gonna start to think about this P4 rotation over here in New York. You see that number 7 player in Morph. They've already got feet on it. Sin City still leading by 50, but New York is coming with the firepower for this P4.
Yeah, man, you see they got the rest of that scrap time. Now Morph make sure they got control of this new hill as they have control of it. You got all the Sin City Slayers trying to push it from the front, but they're just getting taken down. Ferry does find 2, make that a 3rd for the break-in for his team. He looks for number 4, finds that. All New York Lightning sit back to their spot. Player 8, first one to try to make a contest to the hill. He gets taken down. Air finds him a nice double. Morph is up and next, and he got player 6 coming in from the other side trying to work in nice little ping, but it does not matter. Sin City Slayers are ready for any battle that New York Lightning is throwing at them. But there is Gother with a big two-piece that could temporarily slow down this hurting that Sin City was putting on New York Lightning for that hill, for them to get the rest of that scrap time. Think about the rotation to P1. You will see some Sin City Slayers hitting the rest of that time, while the rest of them will try to go for P1.
Yeah, pretty solid showing out of both teams here, but I mean, the scoreline really hasn't moved too much in terms of the deficit between the 2 teams, and if you're Sin City, that's exactly what you want. If you could just stay 40 points ahead, that's quite comfortable. Gonna create some great situations for you down the road here into the game. As I say, that Sin City still fighting strong for that P1. New York Lightning still trying to get a hold. P1 on this map is admittedly very mixy. You could just kind of shoot down from the top level here, and you see Sin City is trying to contest with that as they got on the point, they got taken off, and now they're back on the point. Now New York has to try to get this number 2 player. They do get it, but you also see them trying to do the job of, again, trying to get those P2 spawns, and they're not even close. They might have these remaining 20 seconds on the point, but, you know, Outages pulling out the katana here. maybe trying to make something happen. And there you go. As I'm speaking, New York Lightning just take over P2. They get the spawns, and they're still on P1. That was a phenomenal last half of P1 for New York Lightning. And now Sin City is on the back foot to make sure that they keep their lead.
Awesome City Slayers coming in from that backside and trying to get control of those back spawns. The battles are taking place behind the map. Why this time? Why New York Lightning was getting control of the hill? You can see the spawns probably starting to spawn in favor for Sin City. So now they do got those back spawns trying to get control of the hill as New York Lightning are turtled up on this hill. Got their outages and got their with another kill to Sin City back to the spawns. Now the spawns have flipped favorable for New York Lightning. Sin City spawning at trying to come through the middle of the map. Player 4 trying to work his way through the back. Player 1 and 3 trying to go through the mid door. The contest on the hill is not good enough as they just keep getting taken down as the trades are working out favorably for the New York Lightning. Rotation to next. But one thing New York Lightning has did in these last two hills is about the game blast. Matter of fact, they have taken the lead at a 117, 120 mark as we're getting ready to rotate over to next Sin City. They got to start fighting back here.
Yeah, that's a huge lead change that New York has kind of conjured up over here. You see Sin City Slayers destined to have, or trying to fulfill destiny of having a great P3, but New York, as I say that, they're rushing back into the points, they're getting the kills, and they're putting Sin City kind of, they're making them hesitate a little bit. Jeff slides onto the point but gets cut down, and that's kind of the same old story. You see New York they're not even rushing to get onto the point. If they could stay back and just take out some Sin City coming from their spawn, that's good enough for them. Finally, they're able to get onto the point. And you see just Sin City just one by one try to challenge this. But New York, their slaying has been so good. Sin City eventually does win out in the battle of P3, but just in time to think about P4 for both teams.
Yeah, man, this game is going back and forth. It's neck and neck. Sin City and New York Lightning are trying to battle this all the way to the end. New York Lightning will take control of this rock hill when it starts off. So Sin City will be on the back foot trying to push in. They're down 145, 141. So do you think a quick break is what Sin City needs? So Ferry will be the first man up as he's coming in for the pinch. He finds one. Air finds another. Now all of New York Lightning are providing from the back. Ferry is making that read. The break is in for Sin City. Now he's got to just hold off these reinforcements from New York Lightning. They're all coming from the garage side. Ferry knows that. The rest of the team knows that. So they're just going to aim their gunnies that way and just try to pick off any of the New York Lightning. And there goes all four of New York Lightning. Got to rethink how they're going to try to break into this hill.
Yeah, I mean, I do want to take a minute just to highlight how well Fury is doing in the kill feed here. 33 and 15 with that double piece. Eventually does get cut down, but this KD is incredible. And if Sin City wins this map, it's going to be in part a big portion due to the slaying power that Fury is bringing to the table here. New York doesn't have a team member on their side who is just dominating like Fury is, but more so working as a team, and that might be what carries them to the finish line here. They're still in the match. They're on P1, and while Sin City has taken back the lead, it's only by 15 points here. It's all going to come down to this next rotation. I feel like our winner is going to be decided by the time we hit P1 again.
Oh, man. Another set of rotations. Here we go. But Sin City starts off with 4 in the kill feed. New York Lightning, they are getting that back spawn for P2. Sin City knows that. They're trying to push up, trying to get control of those back spawns. Player 10 and player 5 has spawned off in the back spawn. So, in the back spawn. So this, all they got to do is find player 6, and now they're in prime position. Sin City now they control the rest of this P1 and control this P2 and control these P2 spots. So that is the most important spawn you want to control from going from P1 to P2. Kill feed still lighting up for the Sin Cities. Now the rotation to P2. The fight is on for New York Lightning to come back in this game.
Yeah, I mean, Sin City, just for a minute, they're not letting any New York players get across the 50-yard line. Eventually, they huddle back as P2 pops, and you see them trying to be conscious of the spawns and trying to be conscious of the players entering their lobby area. Number 7 in Morph is just on a tear here. If he meets Drop and is able to get these spawns, this might be cataclysmic for Sin City's hold as P2. As I say that, his teammates in New York just completely breach into P2. You still have Jeff alive, but Morph now directing his Eye of Sauron into getting this final player off, and he does. New York takes back P2, but they have a lot of work to do. 250 down in the scoreline. Sin City can't win it here, but a good P3 could send them across the 250 point mark.
Yeah, I mean, New York Lightning trying to hold off. Series does not want them to get closer and closer to that 250 mark. But Jeff is saying all scrap time is any good scrap time, and it's going to get it closer to this win. But it may have put his team on the back foot for the rotation. And next, you got player 4, Drop His Hated, is the only player back here trying to make sure he control those funds for his team, and that may be important. But Jeff is winning those gun battles. So is Drop. Drop wins one. Fury wins another. Air wins the 4th, and this could be GG's. You got player 8 and player 5. They do got the close spawn, so they got to sprint to this time, slide in. But I think, oh, they did get the 1 kill, 1 second left. A New York Lightning break is in. You got Sin City Slayers are saying, should we break this? They're going to try to break it. They're kind of split spawn, so trying to find the kill. There's 2 big. There goes 3. More finds the 3rd. The break is in, and Sin City take map 1.
Yeah, it's so tough when a team is literally on the 249 points. It's pretty much over at that point, unless you're within 15. New York fighting until the buzzer, but Sin City, man, just a really phenomenal map out of them. And Fury is a problem. Like, Fury needs to be toned down if New York is going to carry this series through to the distance.
You're not talking about it. Like, you're bronze or silver. Like, this is diamond, right? It's the best of the best. Here we go, guys. Oh, we're talking too much, but man, we delayed it. We are Sin City Slayers, New York Lightning. The Sin City Slayers have taken the first hard point on the side end of 1-0, and now they're looking to go up 2-0 in this search and destroy as they push this A site, get the bomb down as quick as they can. And now we got to see if New York Lightning, how they choose to defuse this bomb.
Yeah, familiar scenery here for both teams. You have Sin City just trying to defend the bomb. New York looking for a way in, but Sin City is just shutting them down as they step into their personal bubble of space. Sin City only dropping 1 player and making offensive S&D look easy, when quite frankly, it rarely ever is.
Yeah, I mean that rush to A bomb side to get that bomb down as quick as possible probably wasn't a strategy that New York Lightning was prepared for. It's an old school classic Maui chum strategy, that you learn when you go to Maui camp. So it worked out great for Sin City. Let's see how New York Lightning respond here.
Sin City on the defense this time. New York taking the bomb to the B bomb side. It looks like Sin City's going to read this perfectly, though. We're going to have a Roman clash here, as both teams are essentially meeting each other, but this time New York takes the edge. 3 down. It's all up to Jeff. His name, Jeff. He gets a kill onto Crash, but the bomb is planted. Now, Jeff's going to have to make this into a 3v1, and unfortunately not able to do it. New York tie up the series, and 2 offensive wins in a row. Very impressive out of these 2 teams.
Yeah, I mean, just one say, I'm just going to rush A. And then New York Lightning said, hey, we're just going to rush B. Let's see how that works out. Sin City makes the read, but the gun battle just won perfectly. Gothard got a big 2-piece there. And then, that just, I guess Outer just got the big 2-piece. And then the rest of the team just followed up with 1-1. And then that's here we go. But Sin City back on this offensive side. Looking like they're going to take this bomb through, man. Probably going to make the route towards A, go through the buildings. What they're going to do, you got the 3-1 split from New York Lightning. They got 3 at B, 1 at this A side. So that 1 player at Gothard is going to have to make this call out to say which side they're going to go to. Morph is going to watch over the mid, but Gothard does find that first blood on to Drop is Hated. So that does give him the man advantage. Crash finds Jeff. Now they got the 2. New York Lightning has a 2-man advantage, and the bomb is down. Furry does find Crash. Looking for the second, but I'll just trades that out. Air finds Gothard. Now we're down to a 2v1 with 50 seconds on the clock. Bomb still there.
2v1. Let's see if Eric can continue the offensive win streak, but it's going to be hard to do. That number 5 player can sniff the bomb, and somehow Air is going to have to pick it up and get a plant down, or just completely slay out. You see Air catches outages, but turns as a reflex, and outages just punishes Air. That is 2 in a row for New York Lightning. Could potentially be 3, and if you get to that 3-1, you start to sweat a little bit. But The map isn't totally out of reach for Sin City yet. If they could chain it with a defensive win, we're all tied up again.
Yeah, that is true indeed. That's true indeed. I mean, that was a great round right there by both teams. Just say they slowed it down, but the gunny battle just ended up winning out by New York, New York Lightning. But here they go on this offensive round to do it again. You got outages. He's going to be the bomb carrier. Like they're going to rush this bomb towards this B site. Like that's going to be the play again. Trophy does go down to try to protect him for the nade, but the tactical, but it still comes through and hit outages. Bombs going down on B, so teams are going for the quick bomb plant, but them toes are sticking out. But Drop's trying to find a shot. Gother finds the first blood on the Jeff, but Air and Drop find the second two. Morph and Crash last two alive versus Furry and Air.
It's a 2v2. New York started with the same offensive strategy as they did last time, and Sin City was not there to meet them up front like they were last time. Bring it down to 2v2. That bomb did not get planted, though, which is thanks to that little nerdy spot over there by the staircase. But now, if you're New York, you have to decide what you want to do with the bomb. You turtle up, and you maybe try to do a fake out like you're going to A, but you actually go to B. You see Sin City has now kind of hovering around this P1 area, ready to move to whatever spot this bomb gets planted at, and it looks like it's going to be a B plant. Sin City, now their attention is on the old side of the map where dead bodies lay.
Yeah, I mean, that was, great little fake out round, but you got both teams. They're all playing together. The guy just find his first kill. There, Fairy does find the first one on to Morph. Crash trying to pick the bomb, but he cannot. He gets taken down. The defuse is in. Sin City tied this up 2-2.
2-2. 2 offensive wins, 2 defensive wins. Perfectly balanced, as all things should be. I feel like at this point I'm aging myself with that quote. It's like that movie was 6 years ago. No, it was 7 years ago. My God, how time flies. Shout out Avengers Infinity War. Anyway, 2-2 in the score line. Yeah. Can you believe it? Yeah, I can't. 2-2 in the scoreline. Sin City attacking now. We'll see what they do. I think they tend to go A here. Looks like they'll be trying to do that again. You have Fury kind of providing maybe Overwatch in his top level here, but New York, they're there for a B read. They're all over B, and Sin City gets a kill on a Crash and likely about to get this bomb down.
Oh. Team kill by Jeff, man. Unfortunately, that nade just cooked up on Furious. Furious has been their hot man, but the bomb just going down to A. It's still 3v3. You got all New York Light trying to push him in the back. Air finds one. Can he get the trade in? Is the trade going to get there? The trade does get there. Morph actually finds 2. That's a big 2. It just leaves Drop by himself in a 1v2. 30 seconds to go on the bomb, so he has to play this very slow to try to get this defuse, but he gets taken down. The defuse is in by Morph, and New York Lightning will go up 3-2.
That's a great retake from New York. That round looked like it was not going to go their way. I mean, you had Sin City getting a pick on the Crash, and then you had Sin City all over the bomb site. That bomb goes down, and now New York has to 3v4 retake. But just kind of speaks to the talent that's on that side of the map there. New York, again, an incredibly talented team. So is Sin City, of course, the Diamond Division, the top of the top in the league, invite only. But, I mean, I feel like a team in the lower divisions might have kind of capitulated, but New York keeps it going. Very impressive out of them.
Yeah, man, they're doing what they got to do, and now they got this bomb. Looking like they're gonna push this A site, taking a play out of the Sin City playbook. Sin City had a 2-man split through mid, 1-1, watching the bomb site. Jeff finds the first kill on the outages, so that is big for Sin City to get this man advantage. Now you got player 7 with the bomb trying to push up all in to Sin City's spawns. Can he find his first kill? He does find his kill on to Drop to make it a 3v2. I mean, Gother found, I missed a kill somehow on the map. I was probably too locked in, but his bomb is going over to this B site. You got Sin City kind of spread it out, so when this bomb goes down on B, which we should here soon. Yeah, we should get that call out soon. Sin City, they are trying to group up now towards this A site, but let's see what they do to retake this bomb site. Destin, I mean, Gun Puppet.
Yeah, Sin City. Now it's their turn to do a retake, a down a man. Let's see how they do this. You have Jeff kind of clearing out this middle of the map staircase here, just missing sight lines. Slides right on into two New York members. We got Fury answering with a kill on the crash. He's in a 2v1 situation. He jumps into the water, the little dolphin he is, but the time is a ticking. You got two New York Lightning players to deal with, and it's just not going to happen. New York goes up 4-2 in the map.
Yeah, I mean, that was a great round right there by New York Lightning. They just, got that man advantage, pushed over to that B site. And then once they got the man advantage, they just, had to play those corners, play together pretty much so they could just get the trades when needed, singling out Furry, going up 4-2. Now, Sin City on the back foot on this offense. Let's see what they do here. Gun Puppet.
Let's see what they do here. They do really need a win here for morale. If you go down 2-5, your mental kind of gets chalked a little bit. They're going to stick to the A side of the map. New York might be a little bit more aware that they like to go here. You see Gother hiding in this top U area. Peeks out, tries to get a kill, but the SMG is just not going to do it. Fury, though, gets his pick on the Morph. He runs right into another player, just waiting for him, but Fury, but not able to get the kill in time. It's a 3v3 situation. Crash makes it a 3v2. New York, again, has the upper hand in an early start for Sin City. It's all up to Drop. Drop gets it on the Crash, but it's a 2v1 situation. Time is ticking, and this is going to look incredibly hard when you're getting double teamed here.
Yeah, man, everybody pushing. That's how you got to do. That's teamwork 1-on-1, ladies and gentlemen, right there. Here's the 2v1. You know where the guy is. You wait for your teammate to pull up, and then you guys chow them together. That's how you win a 2v1. Great job by New York. Going up 5-2 in this search and destroy. Call it match point. Trying to tie this series up a piece at 1 to take us to at least a map 4. Me and Dexter, we really want to see that map. I mean, I keep messing up the name, but we really want to see a map 5. So let's see if New York Lightning can close it out here. And
yeah,
they will. Go ahead, my bad. Go ahead.
Yeah, New York Lightning on the offense here. They love going to the B side of the map. Sin City, again, maybe not the perfect read here. Kind of doing a 2-2 split when New York is just barrel stuffing it. Still managed to get a kill on the Gother. Sin City has the advantage. They're figuring out how to collapse on this, but Morph hangs back and looking for that Fury player on the flank. It's a 3v3. New York kind of boxed in here a little bit. If they move backwards, you might see that number 1 player fold around the corner to meet them. New York looking for a pick, but they might be able to get this bomb down in the meanwhile.
Yeah, I mean, there's Chucko here on that B side, but Morph clears up some of that pressure by taking down Drop is hated. Jeff, got it killed. I got the trade on the Crash trades that out. Now it's just air left alive in a 1v2. He sees Morph. Morph takes him down. New York Lightning win the search and destroy 6-2. Tie the series up 1-1.
Yeah, pretty dominant work out of the New York Lightning here. Winning the S&D, tying the series up, and ensuring that we do see a map that isn't Hacienda in the series.
Back, so ladies and gentlemen, Sin City Slayers, New York Lightning, Hacienda control. Winner of this match will take control of this series. You got New York Lightning on the defensive side. Sin City will be attacking. First kill goes to Crash as he takes down Ferry. You got Sin City Slayers turtled up on this B side. Then you got 2 players on there. Now make that 1 as they got 1 segment, almost that second segment, but Crash is there to clear out that second segment. Sin City Slayers now trying to force their way to a certain site, but 3 kills go in the favor of New York Lightning. This spawn trap could be on from New York if they can get there.
Yeah, that looked like it was a scary stack developing on that B side of the map, but it gets shut down after just 1 tick. Still, 1 tick in your back pocket is not nothing. But New York just has map control right now. Sin City just needs to find a way in. You see that number 1 maybe getting a kill on the number 7, maybe trying to lock down that center of the map area, but number 1 and Jeff gonna get pinched here by number 5. in their lobby. Now you see Sin City has one player on A. That player will be air. A little bit of at least being able to stop the clock there. A little bit of a split push though, as you do see a little bit of a formation around that B site. But New York, as soon as they bring their attention to one of the sites, they're shutting anything Sin City tries to do down. You will see Fury onto his B site, maybe waiting for their teammate in drop, but drops, and New York again now looking over at B, being able to stop that tick. Sin City, they need to make something happen, but they only have 16 seconds left to do it.
Yeah, 16 seconds, probably down by 5 lives. You think A will probably be the site they got to push up to, but you got all of New York Lightning just watching down from the top rope. Fury's going to have to try to find any one of these players to try to get to this A site. He does find one, and he stops the time with 8.6 seconds left. He has to get off the time and go, because he's getting shot at from the back, but he finally gets taken. 1 second left. New York Lightning, flawless defense around.
Yeah, that was a pretty great defense out of New York. Sin City, like early on again with that B push, looked like they could maybe make something happen, but New York, once they dug their heels in, they just took back everything. And I mean, I think they even outslayed them by quite a bit in the live count as well. So New York, a very offensive win that could be very dangerous. Sin City, they're feeling the pressure, and it's time to play out if you're Sin City Slayer.
Yeah, so Sin City, they got they send in their two of their guys to that B site to protect that B site first, but the air does start with that first blood, but 2 kills traded out by New York Lightning as they're making their way to that A site. They got a small little stack on that A site as one of those segments are starting to progress on the A site. Well, yeah, I think they got one. They didn't get. No, I think only half a A segment, but they're looking for the kills, trying to get those kills out the way as they're down by 3 lives currently. As Sin City are doing a great job at this opening part of just getting the kills that they need, sending New York Lightning back to the spawn, making it a little tough. We're down to the minute mark, and there's only been a half a segment at A progressed by New York Lightning.
Yeah, Sin City living up to their team name and being absolute slayers on the map right now. This time it's their turn to have complete dominance over pretty much every square inch of the map. You see New York actually pushing it through spawn, going to rotate over to B. Sin City maybe not have read this. They're all the way on that P4 side of the map, and now they have to retake. You see a little bit of a pinch forming over here. Number 3 and Crash goes down. That'll give you some good clearance, but you got to watch out. Outage is coming from behind. Air is able to get that kill. Now you got to deal with Gothar on the point. Gothar gets a kill on the death, but Gothar holding it down. So far, Morph combines, and Gothar goes down, but that B just mere 7 meters away from that tick being done.
Yeah, you can see Crash getting ready to go ahead and put that second segment on that B site. I like the stack word to gems on the B site that New York Lightning just put on as they push through the upstairs to get to this B site. You got Crash trying to finish out B. He takes down player 7, and now he got his reinforcement by player 2. He is there now, so this B site should go in the favor of New York Lightning as there it goes. Add another minute to the clock. New York Lightning does have the 1 life lead. Make that a 2 life lead is now. They're pushing into Sin City spawns where they got player 3 collecting that A site.
Yeah, it's never a fun feeling when the offensive team is just putting the defensive team in absolute spawn trap, and Sin City will eventually break out, but you've already got a tick on A if you're New York. The live count relatively even, which is saying something based on how Sin City started this round. Gothard, yeah, I mean, New York just has control. Like, you see that A tick going by just a little bit at a time. New York clearly trying to recreate their spawn trap again. Not able to do it, though. 2 members goes down. And now map control is kind of even right now, but, you know, if you're New York, you might be able to just bring this down to lives. You have the time to do it.
Yeah, I mean, minutes to go on the clock. It is 2v2 trades, so the lives are just staying right there, 7-5. But these last lives are going to be important for Sin City as they know they're pushing their spawn. So these last 5 lives for Sin City are going to be very important as New York Lightning has 6. So if you're Sin City, you want to try to find 2 of these kills as Josh does find one to tie it up. Outer just gets another one to make it a 5-4 life lead. No more Sin City's players can come back on the map as Fury does go down. It's up to Jeff and Air to hold down the rest of the time. 30 seconds left. A 3v2. Jeff finds a big two-piece to make it a 2v2. There is New York on the time. They get that second. They're trying to go for that second second, making Sin City spawn out to the time. It's a 1v1. Gother versus a Sin City player, but Gother gets the time. I guess the third segment.
Wow, yeah, I mean, I really thought that was going to come down to live count. I was looking at that second 8 tick come in. I'm like, yeah, that's just the icing on the cake. Like, I think New York has got this, but Sin City brings it right back, ties it up into a 1v1, and it just comes down to Sin City trying to reposition to get a better angle on the player. While you're doing that, New York just captures the final point. Really great work out of them, and I think it's important to say now that New York is 2-0 in this map. They are on map point. So if they just slay out in this defense like they did their first defense, Sin City is going to be in a very tough position for the rest of the series.
Yeah, I mean, they're down 2-0, already in this control. They're on it. They're on the offensive side, so that's the side you just do not want to be on, too, when you're trying to come back in a series. Gother starts off with the first blood, trying to get a second. He does find a second, looking for a third, but he gets taken down by air. The lives are still 28-28. His Crash has found himself in the little hidey hole, protecting any player that crosses over to that B site. Drops, finds a 1, but Sin City now has to group up. Tries to group up, try to find a couple of kills and make their way to one of these sites. They got probably a little quarter of a segment at that B site. Player 8 that is dropped is trying to get a segment at that B site, which his teammates are now all starting to converge on this B site. Word to Jim, they're stacking B. New York Lightning have to retake. We're down to a minute on the clock.
Yeah, this seems like the more successful version of what they tried to do round 1, where they stacked B, and they just almost barely stopped Sin City in time. That B point looked like it was going to be captured, but New York gets there just in time, and now Sin City is scrambling to make something happen, maybe elsewhere on the map. But you got trades going back and forth that's not conducive to making a play for the offensive team. If you're Sin City, you got to decide what to go for. Do you want to attack this B again, or do you want to go for A? But either way, New York has map coverage out the wazoo. This is going to be incredibly hard for Sin City to come back from. They get 2 kills. That's a good start. You see them creeping up to the B side of the map, but, you know, all you need to do if you're New York is trade them out, send them back to their spawn, and, you know, they've only got maybe 1 solid push here. Finally, Sin City able to get some feet onto that B zone. New York coming from their side of the map, though. It's all up to Gother. Can they win this 1v1? They do. 12 seconds left. Maybe Sin City can get there. They go through 10. They get the right kills to New York, but New York may be able to stop this with a play from the back from Outages. Finally, that B zone goes down. Sin City down in the live count by just a little bit, but definitely relieved to be able to play this map a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, they just gave all the resources up to try to get that B side. I mean, 20 lives, pretty much trying to get that B side. Now they got a minute left, down to their last 10 lives to try to get this A site. They have trying to clear. You got all in New York Light. They just pushed up on their side of the map, trying to work a spawn trap. So and you got Sin City pushed up on New York Lightning inside the map, trying to work that spawn trap. So 1 kill is going to be very important. You got 1 player, that's player 8, jumping on the point to try to bring New York Lightning back towards this A site so his team can get some pressure. 2 big kills go in the favor of Sin City. Lives are tied 7-7 with 30 seconds. Clock is stopped. That first segment at A has been progressed. We have a double stack now at A, so it should go a little bit quicker. But Jeff had to get out the point as New York Lightning started putting pressures. Last down to our last 20 seconds for Sin City. Lives left to push on some more in this map and to push this series on a little more. 13 seconds to go. The last push is in from Sin City. It's player 8, player 7 finally steps on the point, but out of the morph takes him down. Airs up. He gets taken down. All up to Jeff. 7 seconds left. He finds 1. He finds 2. Looking for the third. Cannot find that. New York Lightning will win this map 3-0.
Yeah, New York Lightning applying enough pressure in those final few seconds there to kind of tourniquet the forward momentum that Sin City had going into that A zone. Looked like they could make something happen when he captured the B zone. They looked like they had a good stack from the A zone, but New York just know exactly how to approach the map.
Ladies and gentlemen, this could be the match decider of New York Lightning can win this vote hard point. They're up 2-1 in this series, so this could be it. Crash Dead starts off with the first blood. Jeff and Fury gets the second and third, but Gother and Moore follows that up as New York Lightning will have control of this hard point. Spawns are looking like they still are favoring New York Lightning, so if you are Sin City, you want to try to push through the stairs, try to get control of those spawns, but at the same time, you do not want to give up too much hardpoint time.
Yeah, definitely don't want to give up too much hardpoint time. A little bit of an opposite from what we saw on the map number 1. New York has a early lead here. Again, too early to draw major conclusions. Sin City fighting back. They've got the spirit. But it all comes down to how we're going to rotate over to this P2 area. You see Sin City has the advantage. They have the spawns. New York a little bit behind in rushing over there. This number 6 and air, though, could be pretty important in catching these players from behind. New York, though, they have the gunning to be able to push up a little bit. You see Sin City kind of relegated to the back there. New York, it's just every time they aim down the sight, it seems like they get a kill. And there you go. They don't have the spawns, but New York being able to do an impressive job of at least keeping it mixy so far.
Yeah, I mean, again, he was hot right there for New York Lightning. Even though they didn't have the spawns, they were just getting the kills to go in their favor. Now they're trying to work these spawns, as they're keeping Sin City trapped in a big 4 down for New York Lightning. Sin City's players for a spawn out. Now they got to try to work their way back towards the middle of the map, and as they do that, they all go down again, spawning right back close to that P2 time. But this time it's time to rotate to P3, but that's not the spawn that Sin City wants.
Yeah, Sin City now on the back foot here, 30-point deficit. Incredible work out in New York. You see the number 2 in outages being able to call out that number 6 player in air on the flank. Again, mixy on this P3 as it usually is, but you know, if you're New York and you just disallow Sin City from getting a foot onto point, that might be a win at this point. Outages making the flank. Outages getting a few players here from behind. Sin City, they have the spawns to just kind of keep throwing bodies at it, but you know, New York like really is just kind of tearing up the kill feed right now. Like, it is relatively even just because we just started and P3 is naturally pretty mixy and hard to get a foot on. But, like, New York, it's, like, literally everywhere they look, they're getting a kill. This might be some trouble for the more one-sided points like P4 if Sin City allows New York to get an early hold, which it looks like New York will.
Yeah, I mean, all their players, they got 2 players already spawned out over there, trying to work to make sure they get control of those spawns. You got Sin City trying to push in from the street side, trying to get in, but Gother is cutting them off, playing this little middle right by the statue. Can he find his 3rd kill? He cannot, but that can relieve some of the pressure off of Sin City. Now they're trying to get the kill. The push is in, the break is in for Sin City. They find a big 2, but they got to look out for Morphus. Morphus still trying to control those spawns. In the back, he finds one, trying to find this 2nd kill. He doesn't need to find it because his teammates are there to clean up the mess. The rest of that scrap time looks like it's going to favor New York Lightning. You got some of Sin City trying to push this in from the P1 side, but they got to watch out from the gunnies of New York Lightning because their gunnies are posted up at every angle that you can watch and trying to get into this hill. There is 12 seconds left of that scrap time. Should favor New York Lightning as P1 is getting ready to pop, and Sin City should have that hill first.
Yeah, New York really trying to put this series in the vault and close it. I mean, having an absolute map right now. Like, this is one of the type of maps you tell your grandkids about in 30 years. Like, this is really impressive work out of them. Getting kills even as P1 pops, being able to get feet on P1, getting air out of that P2 side, getting drop out of that kind of lobby hallway, getting Jeffs down. Fury's the only one left, and it just feels like New York, anything they set their sights on, they can achieve in this map. New York is unstoppable, carrying the momentum from map 2 to map 3 into this map 4. Sin City has the spawn so far, but it might not matter. New York just getting every single thing that they want right now.
Yeah, I mean, the gunny is just super hot right now for New York Lightning. Sin City, man, even if they group up, you just see them just go down together as a team in a group. They just New York Lightning has full control of this map. They're just working the gunnies. Morph is just picking up just picking up where he left off in that opening, that first set of rotations. He's picking up again. 22 and 10 is his score line. P2 is jumped off player 3. He's going to collect that time while his teammates are just going to post up on nice little headies and just take down any Sin City Slayer that tries to get close to this P2.
Yeah, I mean, New York looking like the four horsemen of the apocalypse right now. Over 100-point lead. Only on the second rotation so far. Sin City gets wiped out of P2. They get wiped out so far that they actually end up spawning there. And now New York turns to focus on them, but there's only 20 points left onto this P2. New York's already thinking about P3. Sin City has split pushes, but I mean, New York's so dominant here. Sin City, their only hope is if they're able to, at the very least, keep New York off of P3 and then chain this into a P4 hold. But, you know, New York so good at just creeping across the map and being the boogeyman for Sin City over here. Nobody on the P3 yet. The situation is developing, but New York already taking control of P4, and if you're Sin City, that's a big loss.
Yeah, man. I remember it was like, I think it was like point in time they were saying that Morph might have been like one of the best players in the league. And he's just, just proving that, that right now, just proving his dominance out here on this map. But as well as his team is just proving his dominance in this hard point. 30 seconds to go on this hard point. New York Lightning have control. You can see that that Sin City Slayers are getting those spawns in the back, so that could work out for them. They could try to get some of these kills, but you already know the kill feed has just been working out for New York Lightning. So it doesn't matter where Sin City Slayers are. New York Lightning are just just dominating every spawn, every little kill that can happen. 204 to 58. Sin City's fighting hard just to try to get to 100.
Sin City's trying just so hard to get to that half of the map, but New York is striking like lightning. You see Crash, I guess, killing himself with their own grenade, but it doesn't feel like it's going to matter here. New York is in the back of their spawn. They're getting kills onto the point, and you see that number 4 in Crash being able to kill, drop, and then you wait for your teammates to just approach the map. Sin City having a solid control of P4 so far, but New York just walks right in and they get 3 down in the kill feed. Sin City again has to retake this. The good news is New York can't win it here. The bad news is they're pretty much up by like 200 or 175 at this point. I mean, I'm ready to call it. I've seen enough. I think New York is winning this series in a dominant fashion. GG's, Sin City. It's just hard to contend with a team that is just shooting like this 3 maps in a row.
Yeah, I mean, my boy Gun Puppet done called GG's on the series, and I'm probably going to double down with him and hit the GG right behind him as we go to this P1. 20 seconds is needed for New York Lightning to win this hard point. You can see some type of fight from the Sin City Slayers as you got Air fighting in from the bottom of the boat. There is time in collected from Sin City Slayers. If they're going to lose, they're not going to go down without at least getting to that 100-point club. So they got to try to get there. That's what they're trying to do. So they're going to get control of this P1. They're not going to give up. That's what that's what Sin City looks like they're going to do here. New York Lightning are just going to push around, try to get probably control of these P2 spawns before they try to push in to this P1, because they know they only need about, what is that, 16 seconds left. I messed up. Is that 16? Yeah, 16 to win this map. And then so they'll probably collect on the P2.
Yep, and they've got P2 as it pops. Sin City trying to get to that half of the map. Sin City faking it up in the kill feed, but it might be, probably is, too little too late here. Sin City walks right in, takes back the point, which is great, but New York still split pushing from both the front and the back here. Sin City has come alive. They've heard me say GG's and they're like, nah. We're
I doubled down with you.
They're like, nah. This game is not over yet. Sin City actually having a solid hold on P2, but, it's 12 points New York needs to squeak away with here. Sin City crosses the 100-point line, but a miracle is going to need to happen for them to win this match. But, call it like I see it. They are playing very well right now.
Oh, man. The Gunny has picked up hot first near Sin City Slayers, but you know, right now the tough task for Sin City, what they got to do, they got to worry about getting the scrap time and rotating. They cannot give up any more time. 10 seconds is all that's needed for New York Lightning. New York Lightning are their first player. One will jump on and try to get try to recruit some of this hard point time. He takes 2 more seconds towards
Oh,
that lead. Is a 4 kills goal for New York Lightning, and that could be it. The first player up is dropped, but it's probably not enough time to get there. There is not enough time, and New York Lightning winning this series 3-1. Win this map 250 to 110.
yeah, Sin City doing just enough to spare themselves from the 100-point club, but New York, without a doubt, dominance on that map, dominance in the last 3 maps of the series. It's hard to argue that the the series didn't go to who came